In this video, I'm going to talk to you about starting a mortgage brokerage in the UK. So let me give you some context first of all on my journey. I became qualified in 2003, had multiple different employed jobs, left most of them because lead generation was the thing that they promised but never really delivered. And in 2005 I joined a new brokerage in Chelmsford called One Trust Mortgages. I joined with another girl called Emma and the owner Pete, who had some investment money from somebody else. And effectively between the three of us, I took on sales and compliance, Emma took on back office administration, Pete was dealing with lead generation, but mostly in the cinema every day. And within the space of 12 months, Emma and I realistically grew that business to £100,000 a month, focusing on adverse credit and right to buy mortgages. And I said to my dad, having been sales and compliance manager, I was monitoring 12, 15 people, making sure that the compliance was good in the company. I had a good feel for how to run a mortgage brokerage because I'd already done it for 12 months. For somebody else and made a success of it. So I said to my dad, I need to borrow £2,500 because I need to buy some leads, because I knew how lead generation was working because I'd seen it working for 12 months. And I knew if I had £2,500, I'd be able to make a go of it. So I went self-employed in the November of 2006. And when I left the company that I was employed by, I went as an appointed representative. I started with Active Mortgage Consultants was my first brand name, and as an appointed representative, what that means, if you don't know, is the company Personal Touch Financial Services managed my compliance. They gave me authorization to the Financial Conduct Authority, the FCA, or as it was back then, the FSA, and they made sure that everything that I did was compliant. They made sure that I had to use their systems, their processes, their automations, and it was a leverage of support and compliance so that I could just focus on my clients and I could just focus on making money. And I spent 2 years as a mortgage broker, working off of my dining room table. I moved from doing face-to-face visits where I sat in the car driving around the M25 for 2 hours, going to Watford and places like that where the mortgage amounts were higher value and I could make more money per sale effectively. And I realized that actually that time, 2, 3, 4 hours every day was wasted. So around about midway through 2007 in fact, I decided I would start working from home more often and doing sales over the phone. So I started to use email, started to use all the methods of not sitting in the car in order to be able to write more business and do more deals. And I was very good at converting life insurance, so I was able to increase my earnings through that as well. Mortgage, life insurance, broker fee, solicitor fee, and I was able to double my income very, very quickly. But then in 2008 we got hit by the credit crunch. So having been self-employed for 2 years as a mortgage broker, I then had to diversify, and for 9 years of making mistakes, I built a almost 7-figure insurance brokerage, making 6-figure profits in 2015. And it was actually a business I hated due to not learning and understanding marketing. But the principle of building a business is exactly the same no matter what remit you're in financial service or what area of financial services you are in. What actually happened that made me transform from insurance back to mortgages was in 2015, having had the most successful year that I'd ever had personally in business. And in 2011 or 2009, my best mate bought into my insurance brokerage. I bought him out in 2011. We had to downsize our team and I started all over again then. I then built the business back up to, the 6-figure profits. But I wasn't doing any marketing. It's my biggest mistake. I didn't have any coaches, mentors. I wasn't understanding business. I was still very much acting like a mortgage broker. I still had an employee mindset. And when I went to my bank in 2015 and they said, hey, you can't borrow any more money even though you can technically afford it. You know, I'd left my profits in the business because I didn't need to withdraw them. But my bank that I had my mortgage with would only look at my salary and my dividends. So what I set about doing as a means to get back into the mortgage industry, I'd been biding my time because I didn't want to jump into the piranha tank of buying leads again. I didn't want to jump into the realms of estate agency or introducers. I didn't want my life to become in the beholding of someone else's hand like it was in my insurance brokerage. So when my bank said no, I started ringing all the different mortgage lenders that are out there to find somebody who would give me a mortgage. And what I found was just an absolute plethora of lenders who would lend to me. And I thought, hang on a minute, I've been in the industry. You know, I'm a self-employed individual, business owner, had previous self-cert mortgages. My wife's now, you know, at that time was a sole trader. And if I'm finding it this hard, then self-employed people out there in the world are going to be finding, or in the UK are going to find it even harder. So I made the decision, or we made the decision to move into this house, and we put an offer in the July of 2015, and we moved in the October of 2015. And as soon as we moved in, I actually got my mortgage offer in 17 days as well. Liaising with my accountant, going through the process, I thought, right, time to do things differently. If you continue to do the same thing over and over again, that's the definition of insanity if it's not working. You know, if you want a different result, something's got to change. So in the October, I then downsized my team from 13 to 3. January 16 started all over again as a mortgage broker with a niche of self-employed mortgages. I then did NLP and became an NLP practitioner, neuro-linguistic programming. It helped overcome my limiting beliefs and all the anxieties and fears and frustrations and worries that I had personally during that time. I then became educated and started investing the money that I was saving on lead generation. In 2015, I was spending £20,000 a month on poor, low-quality leads. In 2016, I stopped spending that money and I went gun-ho at being a mortgage broker. But what I invested in was my business knowledge, my marketing knowledge. I had coaches, mentors, trainings, consultants, teachers, and I did courses. Some of them was 1 day a month for 9 months. And that completely transformed my mindset, completely transformed me as a person, completely gave me the knowledge in order to be able to pass this advice on to you. I've now spent well into the 6 figures in my own personal business and marketing knowledge. And I formulated my own 6-step process to building a business, let alone a financial services business. And it starts with the principle of, first you need to be bloody good at what you do. The second thing you need to know is marketing. You need to know how to get the leads. You know, when I said to my dad in 2006, can I borrow £2,500? I want to go self-employed. I said to him, I know if I've got leads, I can make a business successful because I work hard, and you may be able to work hard. But what you'll do is if you keep the employee mindset, you'll become stuck and trapped in a business like I was. Yes, you can have success. Yes, you can be successful. Yes, you can put decent money into your own bank. Yes, you can buy the home of your dreams and the car of your dreams. But if you're still in the office every single day, you've not created a business, you've created another job. And even though I had a team of 13, I was still in the office every single day. So when I realized in 2016 I was going to do things differently, I started using social media. I started putting content out, started doing video. I started educating clients about how they could obtain a mortgage who were self-employed. I started hanging around in self-employed communities, and all of a sudden clients and leads started coming in. I'm probably one of the first to be doing video related to mortgages in the UK. And what the business courses taught me, what my coaches and mentors taught me, and what I've now formulated is a process that works for you to build your business. And in order to be able to do that, you first have to start with your vision. What is it you want to achieve? Where do you want to go? Where do you want to get to? What does life look like in 12 months, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? Because if you don't know where you're going, then how can you possibly expect to get there? More importantly, what's the income that you want to earn from your business? Do you want a £5,000 a month income? Do you want a £10,000 a month income? Because once you can ascertain that, you can then start working out the marketing at step number 2 that's going to support your vision. Because when you know the marketing that you need, how many leads do you need? What's your conversion rate from lead to sale? What's your average sale value? You can work out how to build your business by numbers. But in order to be able to manage the volume of leads that you need, you're going to need to have, number 3, a completely solid sales process that's robust, refined, efficient, effective, as fast as possible. And you only do that by gaining experience and by building a business. But you need to have the right steps in place so that your customer journey is the best it can possibly be, because it's about getting your customer the best possible outcome. Once you've got a decent process in place and you've refined that, you back it up with systems and automation. Because then at step number 4, it's about having the people that manage the systems, but also in having the people in the business. I believe every single one of you should have a PA. I believe every single one of you should have someone who can assist you with marketing. 20% of your effort should go into the marketing, 80% of it should be about repurposing. And once you've got that team of 3, you've then got the ability to be able to potentially go on holiday without being stuck to your phone all day, every day, because you've got the PA who can support you. The PA will be able to manage the systems. You can log in and you can look at your conversions and your numbers and your KPIs effectively and efficiently. The process is automated in the sense that every stage that they go through, an email is sent to the client to make sure that they're kept up to date and on track with everything that they need throughout the entire process. And you're not having to do the same thing over and over again, write the same letters. You can use merge fields from the CRM system into the Word document that makes that process faster, slicker. Because the more your process is refined, the more business you'll be able to write. And the more people you can bring in. You know, I'm a firm believer in today's day and age, the job of being a mortgage broker is 80% admin. So I think actually you can build a business with, 10 people, 8 of which are potentially administrators, doing all the the heavy lifting and the paperwork for you. Your job as a business owner is to think about strategy, think about direction, think about the clients that you want to deal with, think about how you can leverage your time. If your business isn't giving you the income that you want, the time with your family that you want, then your business is not successful. So you need the people in order to be able to create a business, not another job. The 5th thing that you can then start to focus on is actually making more sales. How can you increase the value of every customer? How can you improve your communication, your sales techniques, your sales skills, have better conversations, and not just automate the process and have the people to support you? You need to become better. You need to become a master of marketing, of sales, of strategy to drive the business forward. Once you've got those 5 steps in place, your vision, your marketing, your process, your people, and your sales techniques, you can then focus on the 6th one, the final step, which is the business model. And making sure that actually the business model provides you with the income that you need, that your vision that you set out at the beginning is actually becoming a reality, removing yourself from the day to day. And in 2006, when I downsized my insurance brokerage, it was me, my PA, and a marketing assistant. And what I did was I went gung-ho. I almost wrote off 2016. And bearing in mind, in 2016, I had 2 children who were very small and very young. And I actually just went gung-ho and worked 6-7 day weeks. I did 12-hour days because I knew that I needed to make it a success. In getting back to mortgages, I needed leads. I needed to relearn the market. I needed to put myself out there and do things differently in order to be able to get a different result. And what I was able to do was to write £250,000 with my admin and my marketing assistant support. In 2017, I was able to maintain that level of income, but reduce the amount of days that I worked, in the sense of 1 day a week I invested into strategy, into marketing, into direction of the business, in being out and about, meeting my ideal client and networking with them. And I did that through 2017. I was working on process. I was trying to find the right system. In 2018, I then was able to focus on process and system. We had a process, but we needed a system that made us more efficient. And I looked at Salesforce, I looked at Mortgage Keeper, I looked at Intelligent Office, I looked at various different CRM systems, customer relationship management systems, that had made things more efficient and effective. I also, one thing I forgot to tell you is in 2008, before the credit crunch hit, I made the decision to step out of personal touch financial services and become directly authorized with the FCA. Now that meant that I take on all the responsibility of compliance, all the responsibility of how to drive the business forward. I was in control of the paperwork, the forms, and everything that we needed in order to be able to move the business forward. Now I felt confident in doing that because I was from Woolwich, Connells, Alexander Hall, and also being a sales and compliance manager for nigh on 12 months, building somebody else's brokerage. Now, the reason why that's relevant is because in being a directly authorised firm, what I realised in 2018 while I was trying to sort out the systems and the processes was that in actual fact, my business model, is it right for me to be a directly authorised firm where I'm taking on that responsibility? I was ready to take on advisors because the leads were growing, but do I want to spend my time checking files, making sure that my advisors are doing the things that they need to do? Or do I want to leverage that out to a network where I could become an appointed representative? So in order to test the water, in July of 2018, I actually set up a separate limited company and put it under Primus Network, and started to do business through them in order to see if AR Life would suit me better. Within 3 months, I was competent under their checking. Whenever you change network or anything along those lines, the new firm you work for will want to make sure that you're a good advisor and a competent advisor. What gave me the reassurance of in gaining that in 3 months, the mortgage process hadn't changed since I joined in 2003, since I was a compliance and sales manager for someone else in 2006. It was exactly the same. And having that realization, I felt more confident of being a directly authorised firm. I stuck it out for another 3 months, and I realised in the December of 2018 that I would stop being an AR. I closed that business down and I went back to my directly authorised firm in 2019. I found a different compliance company who gave me more support and took on the file checking. I then recruited my first advisor in March of 2019. I took on my second advisor in August 2019. He is now my operations manager, having been a branch manager of Halifax, having been through having been through the management program at Sainsbury's. And now I've got a team of 9 advisors. We've got multiple different administrators in various different areas of the business. I haven't given advice consistently on a day-to-day basis for well in excess, well, probably since April of 2019. And we are building and growing out a self-employed division, an employed division. I live in Essex and my head office is in Andrews area in Gloucester. And the whole process of building a successful financial services business comes from understanding everything that I've spoken about in this video. Do you know where you're going with your vision? Have you got the right marketing to support it? Is your process as efficient and effective as it could be? Do you have the right people in the right seats helping you to achieve the vision, helping you with marketing, helping you improve the processes, taking away the administration work from you? Have you got the right sales methods in order to be able to increase your lifetime customer value, in order to be able to increase your sales value? And then have you got the business model that supports you moving forward in order to be able to achieve what you want from your business? One person is going to just create another job. You need to have a team. I believe you need to have at least 3. But if, like me, you want to go to a team of 50, the process is exactly the same, whether you're building a team of 2 or 3, as to whether you're building a team of 10 or 50. You need to have those 6 areas completely covered and understood. You need to stop thinking like a technician, like a mortgage broker, insurance broker, financial services professional, and start thinking like a business owner who wants to build something, have vision, mission, values, lead generation, strategy, direction, accounting, support, guidance. And that's the same at 2, 3, 10 or 50. You just have less people to deal with. You know, I only deal with Andrew. Andrew deals with the rest of the team. As we continue to grow, Andrew will deal with more managers who then deal with the rest of the team. If you're just sitting here with you and you've got a couple of administrators, then you are in all of those seats. You're wearing all of those hats. You know, it's understanding that you've got marketing, you've got sales, you've got admin, you've got finances, you're balancing cash flow. You need someone who can do cash flow forecasts for you. You need to make sure that you've got the right business set up. And this is where I would never have been able to build a successful business since 2016 without understanding business, without learning marketing, without having coaches, mentors, teachers, trainings. And this is why now I help hundreds of financial services professionals to build a more successful and more profitable financial services business. From one-person armies, you know, one-man bands, one-woman bands, right the way through to 6-7 figure businesses, people who have got efficient businesses, but they're still working 12, 15-hour days themselves, even though they've got a team of 7, 8, 9, 10 already there. It's about understanding business principles, and it's about learning and educating and developing. Being a mortgage broker, being an insurance broker is completely different to being a business owner, and you don't know what you don't know. So that's been my journey. That's how I've managed to go from building a business that I hated to building a business that's now successful. Education, inspiration, motivation, hopefully everything that you get from this channel. You need to decide, is AR life right for you? You need to decide, is DA life right for you? You need to use Google ads, PPC ads. Do you have an administrator? Do you take on an advisor? Do you understand cash flow? All those different components can be hard to understand. And that's why it's important to make sure that you look at business like a computer game. If ever you've played computer games, or maybe even done karate, you go through the level, you go through a period of plateau where you'll get quite good, then you face the big boss at the end. And that big boss is the challenge. At every stage of business growth and development, you need to be able to grow through the plateau and grow through and beat the big boss to get to the next level. You go through your white belt in karate, and then you move on to the next belt and the next belt. Every belt requires a different skill. And it's about when you're struggling, when you're finding it hard, when you've got no one to talk to, you have the right person who can be able to support you. So building a financial services business, a mortgage business, is just about starting with, what do I want it to look like in the next 12 months? So I'll leave you with that thought. Why do you want to become self-employed? What do you want your business to look like? What's the personal income that you need? And where do you think you'll be in the next 12 months, 3 years, or maybe even 5? Thanks very much indeed for tuning in. Make sure you like this channel, subscribe to it, and leave a comment where obviously I can engage with you and answer any more and give you some more support that you might need. Take it easy.